Welcome to a new test and teardown video. This time I found a really cool old surveillance camera. Grandpa style, I would say. This one is probably a lot older than you think. Japanese brand. And mounting style. Yeah, this classic mounting style. The type here is VR-621. So AC 220 volts, 50 cycles. And what have you got here? Output, beam, focus, target, RF or video mode. Far, near, so zoom, and channel. So there's a TV modulator in this one, so you can, it transmit to a normal regular TV using the antenna socket, or of course video mode. And of course this is tube based. Really? Yeah, tube based. Let's open this thing and have a look first. I really hope we're gonna get a picture on this one. Obviously, I expect this to be black and white. I think it's absolutely amazing. I mean, this is just a surveillance camera from the good oldies, probably mid-70s, right? We got two large boards. You can unscrew one screw here and then flip out the board. See, it's hinged and there's a connector, so you can also pull out the board and perform service. They even added all sorts of info around the board here on the back and on the front. They copied the copper tracks in silk screen, so it's much easier to follow the signals around. Really good for service friendliness. And this is a classic Japanese idea to do this. So in old Japanese electronics, you actually often see these things. And here's the other board. Maybe this wire here is the anode supply or some stuff. And there's a little protective shield here so you don't get fried or electroshock. And it's of course a magnetic deflection tube, and it scans the picture, the sensitive area, using the magnetic deflection. So there's a beam, just like a cathode ray tube that creates a picture on phosphor. This is doing exactly the other way around. Photons goes in here, the picture goes in here via the lens, and it creates an image on a sensitive film here. And this is get hit with the electrons, and you measure the current, and the current changes with the light on that particular place you hit with the beam. So that is why you scan the picture. So this is why you see these power transistors right there. They're of course for the deflection system, and that will be the transformer, neatly located in the middle, far behind the magnetic deflection. Now there's a little power supply here, just some rectifiers, and for some high voltage there's a neon bulb regulator there as well. We've got some connectors here so you can take out the different boards. And here is the RF modulator. Isn't that just cute? Two little transistors right there. So this is just AM modulated carrier, and that's generate your TV picture. Yeah, let's try and power this thing up. I mean, I didn't find any lead capacitors or anything like that. See, it looks quite alright, you know, for its age. Maybe this one is a little bit leaked. So I think I'm more or less ready to try and power this up and see what happens. My first idea is to go in video mode and measure if there's anything out of that one. Is it looking at least a little bit like a video signal? And this will be the power on off switch. And the near far, I really want to show you something funny. So there's a long shaft that goes from this one. And now I'll try and dial that one and then see what happens here. Are you looking at the entire video unit here? And then look now. Here, see? Can you see the whole video unit here, back and forward? This is your near far. This is how it works. So you move that way, and then of course you need to refocus, and then your screen will, or your picture will be bigger or smaller. I think that is a little bit funny. I think you're supposed to close that gap like that. This is more or less where it was. So this is my first power up, and let's see what happens. I want to have a little bit light in this area here, and now you can see if there's any smoke coming out in this area. Okay, so let's crank it on, and nothing happened, probably because I forgot to flip this one. And it's using 30 watts, 20. That is a lot. And of course we need to see something warm up before anything is gonna happen. And look at that. Channel 1 is now in AC. We got trigger like that. Got some really weird. This could be a video signal. Just having some problems with the trigger. Yeah, look at that. I think we got a little bit up there. Isn't it video channel? I mean, yeah. Look at that. So I think we have a picture on this thing. So what do you think? I actually managed to get a picture on this old camera, and I spent a lot of time adjusting around all the different potentiometers and all the little adjustments to perfect the image on this one, and everything was just far off. It looked more or less like this when I started, or even like that. I had almost nothing. It's completely away. I need a lot of light because, I mean, hello. But it works now, and it's really good, actually. You can see some, see? It remembers, see? The background goes a little bit, I don't know if that is easy to see, but yeah, well, we got a picture. I'm trying to look at the different circuit boards a little bit deeper in detail here, and I think this one is quite funny. I think this cable here is the anode current. It's probably also a shielded cable down to here, and then the inner conductor just go down in one single pin here. And this is of course why you don't want noise to go into your amplifier, because the anode current is really weak, and it's a tiny little difference that makes the useful picture. So what we have here is a very low noise amplifier made of old tech transistors. I think that one there is a little bit weird. There's a pin that is not connected to anything, and it's just coiled up like that. A little antenna. Why would you do that? That is weird. So we've got some ground and ground like that. and I can see the circuit board went in and out of that connector quite a few times. I mean, many times. Somebody performed service on this thing. And here is the deflection board. I took it out so we can have a look. Definitely somebody took this in and out of the socket so many times. There's no more paint left. Why did somebody service this so much? Like it was the last camera in the world. That is a little bit interesting. And yeah, all the transistors there, of course, old tech Japanese stuff. 2SB75. Yeah. And that one is 2SB89. I'm going to go and look these up, and maybe I can come up with 2SD75. So that's obviously a PMP, I guess, right? 89. Hitachi. Yeah. So this is, of course, a lot of video stuff. There's not a lot electronics in this. So about the power supply, we can see the transformer here, 22022, and then there is a 165. And I believe this 165 goes to the high voltage board. And if we look here at all those diodes and all those capacitors, so I think this line of capacitors here, there will be voltage doublers. And then it goes to this one here, a 500 volt capacitor. And it's not running with thousands of volts. It's like only 3 or 4 or 500 or something like that for the anode supply, because this tube is not really that big. And I also think that I maybe found the reason for the little dots on my image. See, we can see some dirt. This is the light sensitive area of the tube, and I think you can easily just take out the tube by just removing those screws. See, we also got some screws missing, so all you have to do is just take these screws out and then loosen this screw, and then you just pull out the tube and then put in a new one, because they don't last forever. Let's see if I can figure out how to do that. That could be pretty cool. And I was right. This is all you have to do. Just unscrew this one, and here is the connector, and then you just pull it out like that. It is that easy. Oh, it's actually amazing. Oi, oi, oi. It's burning hot. And here is all the fantastic parts of that tube. So we got a little electron beam right there, focus grid, and then this is a completely shielded anode part, and then there's a sensitive film right here, and in here we got coils that sweeps the beam around, and then it hits the scans this surface right here. The black areas here tells how to orientate this little tube. And here we got it as a Toshiba. Yeah, quite big. Well, that's a beautiful tube. So that was more or less what I wanted to show you about this old grandpa style camera. So I hope you had a little bit of fun, and please come again another day and see another funny video. Now I'll put it back together and see if it still works. That's going to be fun. Bye-bye.